We shall see what happens. It's kinda early, and I don't know if anyone will show, but that's fine. We'll find out. We will find out. Maybe. It was a long night. It was a very, very long night. Very long night. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. We won't know. I'm not sure. We'll try it. We'll try it and see. Well, hello, Avery. How are you? It might just be you and I today. Normally I don't do this early, but there's been a change in plans. So, how are you doing? How is everything? Making a big mess here. Got too much junk everywhere. This goes here. Your office looks great. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is way too cold. I'm not going outside, but we're gonna do crime. So I thought I have class. Typically I have math class in the city, but the entire world is falling apart, apparently, in Boise, Idaho. And they're expecting a crap ton of snow between for the rest of the day, pretty much. And I thought that if I went into the city, that it would be a mess coming home. So I just said, you know what? I will do schoolwork from I know, more snow, from home today, which is fine. I don't mind. Hi, Bobby. How are you? Did you sleep well? Because I didn't. I didn't sleep well at all. Not even a little bit. Did you get any sleep, Bobby? Bobby, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, Bobby, you're in the US, right? Because we also have Bobby Lee, who is in the US. You're working. Oh my. Were you working last night or this morning? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You slept great. Did you really? How long did you sleep for? 2 hours? Because that's about the kind of sleep I got. Very, very minimal sleep. Minimal. Do you have supplies, water, extra food? Avery, yes. The only thing I'd be concerned about is our power going out. And I'm not worried about electronics and things like that. It's keeping the house warm because, not sure, got tipsy. I definitely did not get tipsy. Nope, I was going to pass on that one. We are almost out of firewood. No, Avery, we don't have a damn generator. Why would we have such a thing? That would be too easy. Too easy. Foles has never needed one. He had one before me. I'm fairly certain, with the ex that resided here. Well, hello, Tiff. But I think once she left, he got rid of it, or maybe something happened. I'm not sure, but it wasn't a necessity anymore. He was working in Alaska at that time. And so if the power went out, it didn't matter because he wasn't here. So it worked out. But well, we're like 4 minutes in. I'm waiting very patiently to see. I know it's a different time right now. A lot of people are at work. Some people are in different countries. So I don't know how well, what kind of turnout will show up. But if you guys stay, I'm happy to do the normal thing. You had a great time. Tiffy, I did not have a good time. Tiff, I don't know what time you got off, but it got, I made a post. You made a post for me. Oh, thank you, Wyatt. I haven't seen anything. Should I watch it right now on live? Do you want me to? You made a post. Oh gosh, did you call me out by name? What did you say? What did you say? Oh God, do I want to know? I hope it's a funny. Please tell me if it's a funny. You were all up late. Oh my gosh, it's a post. Oh shit. Do I want to know? Do I want to? Should I wait then? Should I wait? I meant about texting. Oh yes, absolutely, Tiff. Yes, yes, for sure. Oh no, backyard. Where is it? No, it doesn't say that I have a thing. Hold on. Do 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 do. Mm-mm. I posted this live so people would come in because I got a lot of new subscribers. I appreciate you. Oh, you made a post. I see. My love, I thought you were talking shit. I thought you were like, I made a post of that live last night. And I was like, oh dear God, please don't do that. Thank you. I appreciate you. That is very kind of you. So we'll see what happens. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Ange. I appreciate you. Ange, I am going to talk about, well, I'm going to read off that article, the one that happened in Wyoming that I saw that you had posted. So, yeah, sorry. I was like, oh gosh, should I watch it? Should I wait? Should I do this in the privacy of my own tears? Julius, how old are you? 12? You should be in school. It got well before I went to bed. Oh, Tiff, it was yeah, it was a rough one. It was rough. I could not go to bed. It was sending out tomorrow. Oh, okay. What happened? Nope. Not gonna discuss it. I'm not discussing anything. Fools was being a fool. I'll just say that. He was up very late. I think he was on live until 3:30 or 4 in the morning. I'm not sure. But he's asleep right now, so. Avery, you remember those lives. Hi, Phoenix. How are you? Yeah, you remember those lives. Fools revisited his older live persona. How about that? He did that. Oh, and I went to you're grown. If you're grown, then talk like a goddamn adult. Who talks like that to somebody on the internet? Children do. I did my boot camp this morning for YouTube. That was fun. I didn't learn anything, but I did have a boot camp this morning, so that's exciting. No, I was speaking about firewood. Hi, Nikki. How are you? Okay, we've got like a minute left, and then I'm going to start. We're going to see how this goes. I know everyone's at work. People are doing other things, so I did misconstrue your words. If you look at it, you asked me. I want you to just read your last comment before I got wild. It's all good. Feels needed to, yeah. I just let it go. I thought, okay, the bars are closed. We're all good, and he can just continue doing what he's doing. So in the city today, they're expecting like 6 inches of snow. So the city hardly gets any snow. It's usually like, I don't know, a couple inches. So, oh, I gotta love ads. Being that the city is actually getting a crap ton of snow, that means we're getting like a foot up here. I'm not excited for that. Between 10 and 2. 10 and 2, 10 and 2, 10 and 2. Okay, guys, we're gonna go. We're gonna get this started. I'm not gonna have you sit around, think about life. So, it can't be no worse than my lives. Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. It's about the same playing field. Well, hello, bum. Hi, Pan. How are you? Okay, so the photo that you saw on my for this live, it did say trigger warning, and I'm putting that out front because these particular crimes that we're going to discuss do involve children, not each and every one of them, but it will have children, and there will be SA. So if you are at work and you have me on a speaker, well, I wouldn't do that. Just saying. Especially if you have coworkers around you. So I just wanted to throw that out there and put that as a warning. If tragic circumstances that involve children and SA bother you, I don't recommend listening at all, today. And that's okay. I understand. So let's see. I'm just gonna go in with the most recent one that just happened in the state next to me. So, how did you get mod last night? Yeah, I saw that. All right. So, the title reads, "This horrible, tragic event. Mom shoots her 4 daughters in the head, kills 3 of them, calls 911, and then kills herself." And I'm fairly certain your article is going to be way better law and crime, but bear with me on this because you know how the journalism is on law and crime. If you don't know, I'm sure you've heard me say it. It's shit. It is shit. So the firm grip of horror took hold of multiple Wyoming families after a mother of 4 shot her 4 daughters before turning the gun on herself. Mid-afternoon on Monday, a mother called 911 to report the gunshots she fired at her own home on East Shoshone Avenue in Byron, a tiny town located roughly 415 miles northwest of Cheyenne and some 40 miles due south of Billings, Montana. The woman went on to report that her daughters had been shot, according to a press release. When dispatchers asked the status of the gunshot victims, the female stated that she believed them to be deceased. Harshman also gave dispatchers a guide to the violence they would encounter inside the unassuming home. 2 children would be located upstairs in. Okay, just take a deep breath. Hi, Fabian. How are you? I live in the state of Idaho. That's my view on Second Amendment rights. 2 children would be located upstairs in their cribs, and 2 children would be located downstairs in their shared bedroom. The press release reads, the caller further stated she could be found in her upstairs bedroom and that she was going to do the same to herself. Attempts were made to slow things down. The efforts failed. The dispatcher pleaded with the female caller over the phone for the female caller to remain on the line until responding units arrived. The female caller stated multiple times that she could not do that and that it was too late. Multiple attempts to keep her on the line failed and the call was disconnected. I can't talk. Okay, just don't have me on the big screen, please. This is info that not everyone needs to hear. But I love you. Thank you. When deputies and law enforcement arrived, 2 girls were already dead, a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old. And her 9-year-old half-sister died from gunshot wounds to the head. Later, 2-year-old and 7-year-old half-sister had also been shot in the head but managed to cling to life. The toddler who first survived, however, succumbed a very short time later due to the extent of her injuries. The shooter was also found to have signs of life while suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. The mother and the 7-year-old were both swiftly transported to North Bighorn Hospital. The girl was later airlifted to a hospital in Salt Lake City, where she currently is fighting hard for her life. The family had lived in the house for about a year before tragedy struck. The neighbor recalled seeing the girls play outside where they would sometimes pet his dogs. The murderess, the neighbor said, appeared to be a homemaker and did not have evidence, did not evidence any signs of mental turmoil. I wish I had known something was going on. I could have done something about it, the man told the newspaper through tears. Now, two fathers and the killer's surviving families are grieving and trying to make sense of the tragic turn of events. A GoFundMe was started to help the biological father and stepmother of the two older girls, particularly with medical expenses for the 7-year-old as she recovers from surgery. Other funds will go towards the 9-year-old girl's funeral and travel for her parents to attend. A second GoFundMe was started to help the widower, the father of the two younger girls. In response to a request, the Bighorn County Sheriff's Office said incident reports about the triple murder homicide aren't yet finalized. And that's all that we know. So, hi, Brett, B-Rad. Samuel, hi, hello. Do I think enabling purchasing and tracking of guns should be more prudent and controlled? Julius, to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to matter. You can buy black market guns all over the place. You can 3D print them. Guns aren't the issue. If you want my honest opinion, guns are not the problem. People are. That's how I feel about that. I think there are children in this world that need their ass whipped at home and they didn't get it. And there are people who have mental health stuff going on that they need to address and get help for. I think as a society, we should be rallying around people that we see are struggling and not brush it off like it's no big deal. I need to get some new earbuds. Okay, bye, Bobby. But Julius, that's how I feel about it. Guns are not the problem. Ariel, good to see you. PTSD, depression, and postpartum. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Well, hello, everybody. If I missed anyone, I hope I didn't miss you. Okay, moving on. Moving on to the next one. Oh, that little emoji after you said that, though. I just got home. Hi, Ken. How are you? All right, let's go to the next one, friends. A North Texas man. This does not have to do with the child, by the way. I will warn you ahead of time. A North Texas man will spend the next several decades behind bars for hiding his dead girlfriend's body inside a refrigerator for over a year. Chad Stevens, 43, accepted a plea deal on one count of tampering with a corpse, the Collin County District Attorney's Office announced on Tuesday. He was quickly sentenced to 30 years in a state prison. In November of 2023, the defendant was arrested by the McKinney Police Department after the small-statured human body of Heather Schwab, 35, was found inside one of the poorly secreted away appliances. During the execution of the search warrant, a refrigerator, which was wrapped in copious amounts of plastic wrap, was located in the kitchen. The sole entry of the kitchen had been suspiciously closed and concealed from the remainder of the residence with a piece of sheetrock. The affidavit states Stevens quickly admitted to hiding Heather's body after she died in his residence. This formal admission, the first but not the last, came after being read his Miranda rights, because apparently I can't read that word right now, during a police raid on his home in McKinley, a large city and suburb of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. And don't judge me right now. Hi, Jack. Hopefully you're feeling better. Chad stated that when Heather died, he did not know what to do. He put her body in the refrigerator, and this occurred on July 26th. Yeah, except you spelled it wrong, Ariel. He put her body in the refrigerator on July 26th, 2022. The court document continued, although police noted that Schwab may have actually died sometime in August of 2022. During an earlier missing persons investigation, the defendant told a detective Schwab had left him roughly a year prior and that he has not heard or seen from her since. Prior to the day of the raid, Stevens had made at least one other comment about his girlfriend's death. While Schwab had not been heard from for several months, the efforts to locate her, initiated by her estranged mother, had stalled out until a conversation between the defendant and his daughter. Brianna Stevens admittedly did not communicate much with her father, according to the affidavit, but in early November 2023, she called to tell him that she was pregnant. He allegedly advised her to get an abortion, and when she refused, he allegedly threatened to kill both the mother, his daughter, and her unborn child. During the argument, Brianna stated to Chad that he can't and shouldn't be making threatening statements because people will believe him and take him seriously. Brianna stated that Chad responded by stating that he was serious. The daughter countered that her father should not be saying things about killing people because of the then ongoing search for Heather Schwab. "Oh, so you think I killed her?" Chad Stevens replied, according to the affidavit. He then asked his daughter how she knew about his backyard and how it had been dug up and how Schwab was there. Brianna Stevens said she did not know anything about that, but the defendant allegedly kept pulling the thread. Chad then continued to ask Brianna how she knew that Heather was in the backyard. Brianna stated that she did not know any of that information, but then Chad sarcastically stated, "Oh yeah, I definitely did that." When asked, Brianna stated that Chad on several occasions mentioned Heather being buried in his backyard. This conversation was later relayed to the deceased woman's mother. She in turn relayed the conversation to a detective. Later, a living ex-girlfriend alleged that Chad Stevens had attacked her in January of 23, finally giving investigators the combination of allegations necessary to obtain a search warrant from a judge. A grim discovery made the defendant, for his part, was admittedly both violent and threatening toward Schwab before she died. He told investigators about multiple physical altercations between the pair and confessed that on several occasions he threatened to kill her. My backyard, my yard. Chad stated he would choke Heather during sex, that her veins would protrude from her neck. Chad also stated that he believes that Heather sustained a head injury in the shower 3 days prior to her death. Chad stated he was having an argument with Heather during the time and claims Heather slipped in the shower. The defendant was met with impact statements during his sentencing, according to a courtroom. Prosecutors reportedly noted that the medical examiner was never able to determine Heather Schwab's precise cause of death due to the condition her body was in. Her mother does not believe her daughter simply slipped and fell. Well, yeah, because if she did, hi, Tori! If she did, then I would have just called the cops. I mean, that's what I would have done. But, and that's really it. A neighbor previously described Chad Stevens as awkward in comments to Fort Worth news reporters. So he got 30 years and he kept her in a refrigerator, saran wrapped. I don't understand. I don't know why you would think that unaliving someone. I love you, Tori. Did you see my face? Unaliving someone and then keeping them in a refrigerator in your house wouldn't smell. I don't know why you would think that. Are people really that naive? Honestly, I'm confused. Did she get freezer burn? Wyatt, really? You had to go there. Okay, let's move. We're going to move on to the next one. All right. A New Mexico man will spend the rest of his life in prison for strangling. What is wrong with me? Why can't I say that? Strangling. Strangle. I'm saying it right? Why do I feel like I can't say it right? His mother, and propping her decomposing body in the shower to make it look like she had fallen and hit her head. Strangling. Strangling. I did say it right. Okay. Dylan Alexander Waller, 31, learned his fate on Monday for the first-degree murder of his mother, Cynthia, who was 69. Waller was also sentenced to an additional 3 years for the charge of tampering with evidence. He was found guilty in December. They froze me so I couldn't smoke. Oh, yeah, I bet that's been a rough go. On November 14th, 2022, he killed his mother by placing a plastic trash bag over his mother's face. Although she fought back, prosecutors say Waller pulled her head in close to his body and applied pressure until she stopped breathing. Afterward, he apparently left her body in the room for about 5 days while he cleaned the house with chemicals. He went to ATMs and local banks, taking money from his and his mother's bank accounts. At one point, he propped her body in the shower, positioning her in a way that would look like she tripped and fell. He said that when he took the bag off of his mother's head, he saw maggots on her body and cleaned up the scene. Oof. Waller, joined by Bianca, then drove his mother's Buick and her 4 dogs to Southern California, abandoning the vehicle and the dogs inside, the statement of facts said. He said that he crossed over into Tijuana, Mexico on foot, waiting for Bianca to join him. But she never appeared. Then he crossed back into the U.S., but did not locate the Buick, which by then had been found with the dogs inside by Border Patrol agents. In San Diego, with no money and no one to contact, he was admitted to a hospital, released, and given a bus ticket back to La Cruces, New Mexico. He told police that when he returned to La Cruces, he was living on the streets until he was arrested on an unrelated warrant in April of 23. According to the probable cause affidavit, Waller said he had reasons for killing his mother. He explained that he did not want his mother to suffer anymore and did not want to see her go to jail. The only way to keep her from having to go through with this was to have her go to a better place and kill her. He knew law enforcement would contact him regarding his mother's death, and he knew he would have to face what he had done. Why would she go to jail? Did I miss something? His mother's obituary said she was a selfless giver who always put the needs of others above her own. What did I miss? Huh. Okay, well, that's the end of that. That was a whole bunch of nothing. He put her down like a dog. Yeah. Hi, Billy. How are you? He treated the dogs better. I mean, he left the dogs in the vehicle, but... That's your own mother. Whew. I might not get along with my mom, but... Oh, hi, Abigail. How are you? I might not get along with my mom, but that's not how that's going to go. Billy, my day is going. We're expecting a ginormous snowstorm, so we're getting this done and over with now. Oh, my son loves me, right? I'm Carolyn. I know that he does. Stop it. You know that. You know that. Okay, so this, it looks like it has to do with a teenager, but it looks like there's potential essay involved, just as a heads up, so I want to put that out there. Phoenix, I appreciate you for stopping in. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. And hope you stay warm. Oh, it's 86 in Tampa. It is 21 degrees. So it's a little warmer today, but that is because snow is coming. So, so SA is involved here. Heads up. He's got power of attorney and power of states. Oh, well, you're fine. You're okay. A special needs student in Colorado was essayed by a teacher who earned the trust of both him and his mother while she secretly preyed on the 16-year-old, even going so far as to direct him to bring a gun to school to shoot a fellow faculty member. Trade jail for one day. I told you, Fabian, come on over today. I want you to come over today and enjoy the snow and then tell me how much of a pain in the butt it is. No, you don't get to just sit in the house and look at it. I want you to go shovel snow. I want you to go run errands in the snow. I want you to bring your flip-flops and walk around in the snow. 21 degrees Fahrenheit. What's the topic? Saeed, crime. Imagine Kate Euler, 28, was sentenced to 4 years in prison after she pled guilty to assaulting a student in Jefferson County in 2023. According to the Colorado 1st Judicial District Attorney's Office, a press release posted online last week by the DA's office outlines what went down at the sentencing hearing, with the victim's mom showing up to address the court and Ewer about the profound emotional toll this has had on her family. I know, 4 years, exactly. The defendant preyed on my son, leading him to believe she genuinely cared for him, all while exploiting him for money and manipulating him into thinking he was the one. What makes this even more painful is that I trusted the defendant. If I had known what was truly happening, I would have never allowed her such close access to him. Ewer, a paraprofessional who worked at Brady Exploration High School in Lakewood and for Jefferson County Public Schools from 2015 to 2023, admitted to sexually abusing the teen after being assigned to care for him as a special education student. Jesus, I don't know why I can't talk this morning. She pled guilty to sexual assault on a child by one in a position of trust and contributing to the delinquency of a minor in the first degree, which are both felonies. Oh, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. In November 2023, the Lakewood police were called after a teacher at the school reported witnessing inappropriate writing on one of the victim's class worksheets. The subsequent criminal investigation revealed that Ewer's favoritism towards the child was noticed by staff almost immediately, with evidence of an inappropriate relationship beginning in approximately September of 2023. The DA's office said that while investigating Ewer, authorities uncovered evidence of frequent sexual encounters and constant digital communication, including a trove of text messages that cops found. She admitted to using derogatory remarks to put down the victim and also said she introduced him to drugs, alcohol, and weapons, including a gun that Ewer asked the teen to use on a colleague. In the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of text messages, the defendant would repeatedly assert that she wanted the victim to bring a gun to their sexual encounters, and even directed the child victim to bring the gun to school and shoot another faculty member in the leg. Ewer herself spoke at the sentencing on Monday and expressed remorse. Ooh, go to jail. The vision that just came through my head right now is so inappropriate for the internet, but I can't say it. I just want to apologize to the victim and the victim's family. I'm really sorry. This will never happen again. Upon her release from prison, Ewer will be subject to lifetime registration as a sex offender and probation in the Sex Offender Intensive Supervision Program. She is also facing drug charges in Douglas County for an arrest that occurred while she was out on bond for the assault case. Get rid of her. Get rid of her. Just let her go. Not only was she SAing a child, a special needs child. A child is a child, but then you add special needs on top of that. I hate people. I hate them so much. Anyway. Hello, TH. Actually, you get the storm before I do. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're getting a lot today. So, yeah, 4 years. 4 years. She got a total of 4 years. 4 years. Vapor, how are you? All right, let's move on to the next one. We are at 36 minutes. Okay, we're doing only an hour if we make it that far. So, just as a heads up. I love you, Abigail. Abigail, we appreciate you here. All right, a former prison guard from Georgia who was convicted on drug charges asked for leniency in his sentencing, citing his military heroism. Except the military heroism he cited was fake. In a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office, Northern District of Georgia, authorities announced on February 10th that Nicholas Grindel, 32, received a prison sentence of 87 months behind bars plus 3 additional years of supervised release. He pled guilty in November 2024 to charges of conspiracy to possess methamphetamine with the intent to distribute and bribery. When he stood before a judge for his sentencing, he asked for leniency based on his heroic service while serving in Afghanistan. But the truth came out. According to the release, Grindel was working as a prison guard at Georgia's Hayes State Prison when he was caught by his colleagues smuggling methamphetamine, cell phones, and other contraband to inmates for a month-long period in late 2023 and early 2024. Not only were the materials that Grindel planned to distribute discovered in his locker, but an investigation into his financial records revealed that he had been accepting bribes from inmates to bring the goods in. Grindel pled guilty to the charges against him on November, where did August come from? 21st, 2024. When the sentencing date arrived, Grindel asked the court for mercy, saying that he had been wounded during his service in the U.S. Army while deployed to Afghanistan. He reportedly told the court that he had been stabbed in the shoulder by a Taliban fighter and killed the fighter with his pistol. Grindel was challenged on his claim, and evidence that disproved his story, including letters from former members of his unit and his military records, was presented. Acting U.S. Attorney Richard S. said, according to the release, Grindel violated his oath of office by smuggling drugs into a prison he swore to protect. He then compounded his crime by lying about his military service. Taliban. I know, what did I say? What did I say? I don't know what I said, but I didn't say Taliban. And that's it. Oh, I hate these articles. Worst in America. Which investigated case called the Crime Brazen. Mine was crap. A load of poo. My engine left the chat. IQ and crime. Are you still there? Because my phone just rang. So we'll see. Hey, Miss Queen! How are you? Can you see me? Because my phone just rang, and you know how that goes, so. I'm not going to school today. Still here. Okay, perfect. Sometimes it messes it up, and I didn't know if that was going to happen. You know, I feel like... Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. Hey, girl, hey. Okay. We're talking crime. Early crime. Just so I can get it out of the way. And I might not have power later. So we're going to just do it now. Still here. Okay, well, let's move on. So this is an Idaho case. I am in the state of Idaho, here in the grand old USA. And to be honest with you, I did not know about this recently. So, an Idaho man was sentenced this week to a minimum of 45 years and a maximum of life in prison for murdering a man he says bullied him on Facebook, shooting him 17 times in the street outside the victim's home over rumors that the killer was an undercover cop. Just want to drop in to say, hey, I need to walk them free. Thanks. Bye, Vapor. I appreciate you. Have fun. Stay warm. Mark Bent, 43, was found guilty in December of first-degree murder and felony enhancement for the use of a deadly weapon and the commission of a felony for the September 2023 killing of Nicholas Byrd, 23, outside his home in Bonneville County, according to East Idaho News. Bent, who was sentenced on Monday, took to Facebook after the fatal shooting to explain why he took Byrd's life, saying it stemmed from online bullying related to his occupation. Byrd's family had denied the bullying accusation and says there's no evidence to support it. I am saddened to say that I have committed some serious crimes today that will put me in jail for the rest of my life or lead to death, Ben wrote after the shooting. As some of you know, shortly after I moved to Idaho Falls, I was slandered on Facebook or YouTube with rumors of me being an undercover police officer. Those rumors were followed by threats, harassment, and more slander. Even after the facts were out that I am not a police officer of any kind, people still chose to believe it and continued to harass, threaten me, and eventually look up where I live and work and post it on the internet. Bent was found guilty in December following a week-long jury trial, with prosecutors saying he planned the killing months in advance after being allegedly targeted on Facebook. He claimed during the trial that he blacked out during the shooting. Well, hello. Are you a child, sir? Freckles' boy seems like a child to me. I don't know. This all started from me being involved with a local Facebook group called East Idaho Speed Hunters and a car club called the Castaways. After being involved with the Castaways for a short time and seeing that they were, I'm 39. Oh, okay, sorry. Freckles boy, I mean, think about it. That username does sound a little young, just saying. After being involved with the Castaways for a short time and seeing that they were involved with a lot of illegal activities, I departed from them. Because of that, the rumor of me being an undercover police officer began, and even though it seemed to pass, the rumor eventually came back to light. I'll take that as a compliment. Awesome. I apologize, but I'm glad you're here. Thank you. According to Bent, people kept posting about him on the Speed Hunters page in a negative way, to the point where he started to think about attacking on one of the car meets/shows they attend. But he said his main goal was to kill Nick Byrd, the founder of the Castaways that started all of this by spreading rumors. He also posted where I work, so I told myself that if anything were to happen to my job, I will go after him. Unfortunately for him and his friends, I lost my job recently, so I followed said plans. At his sentencing hearing Monday, Bonneville County prosecutor Randy Neal reported the word bang 17 times to symbolize the amount of times Byrd was shot. Byrd's parents gave impact statements during the proceeding, which were reported by East Idaho News. And that's about it. So they thought he was an undercover police officer. And then they doxed him and put all of his information on the internet. Yes, Queen, 17 times. He shot him. That's rage. Rage, 17 times to be shot. That's some rage stuff right there. So yeah, he got a lot of time. A lot of time. 45 years. 45 years in prison. Up to life. And you know, it shows a picture of the car club dude, and he looks like a hippie. But look, people get crazy on the internet. We know this. So I'm back. Had to leave for a minute. Well, welcome back, Ken. Thank you. All right, we're moving on. This one does have to do with children again. So just as a heads up, children are involved in this story. True. I guess there isn't very many people in this chat right now, which is fine. But the question is, because I don't know who's going to respond, which is why I said all that. What would you do in that situation? Don't answer that. I don't know why I even asked that question. This is the internet. Don't answer that. If someone said you were an undercover officer, right, on the internet, and you're not, and they started doxing your name, your address, because the other people are in illegal, they participate in, I'm running away, participating in illegal activities. I mean, I'm not saying that what he did is justified by any means, obviously not. But if you are being harassed to the point of that, what? I don't know. Can't kill cops. But he wasn't an undercover. That's the thing. He wasn't an undercover cop. But the whole car club, supposedly, allegedly, the whole car club group, because he didn't want to be involved in it anymore, thought that he was. What would you do in a situation like that? Call the cops? Someone's harassing me on the internet. We've seen what happens there. Nothing happens. So, I mean, in all honesty, you take matters into your own hands? I don't know. Did he find his clothes? What do you mean, Abigail? Hire Rainey to be a PI and get the truth. Bri Guy! How are you? How are you, Bri? I remembered it this time. Thank you very much. I just, it would be, if you're in that situation, I don't condone the actions, but hope you're well. I am well. I'm going to do some crime stuff here, and then I'm going to do some schoolwork. Maybe make soup today. It is a hard question, Abigail. It is a hard question. Because at what point in time do you say enough is enough in a situation such as that? But again, we've all in this little community here have seen that stuff go down in a way, right? What's the question? Oh, Bri, the question is, I just read an article how a man moved to Idaho. Oh, it's gone. I had to throw it out. It was old at this point, but thank you. A guy moved to Idaho, and he was in a car club with a group of a bunch of other people, men, women, I'm sure. And he saw that the group participated in illegal activities, so he no longer wanted to be a part of the car club. So he exited the car club, and because he was in a Facebook group for the car club founder decided to start posting on Facebook and the internet that he was an undercover police officer, the guy that exited the group, but they started harassing him, posting his home address, posting his work, trying to get him fired, trying to get all the things done because they assumed that he was undercover. So he said that he dealt with it for a while, and if it came down to him losing his job over the harassment that was going on, he was going to take matters in his own hands, which he did, and he shot the guy 17 times and unalived him. So the question is, how would you handle something like that? I mean, you can't call the cops, and I mean, you could, but you can't call the cops and be like, hey, 80 guys in this car club are doxing me on the internet, help. You thought he got shot? Oh no. No. Nope. He got fired from his job, and therefore, because he got fired from his job, he said that I'm like, I hear noises. He decided that if his job came into play, that he would take matters into his own hands. So he did that. Shot the guy 17 times because they were harassing him on the internet. So what do you do? I don't condone, obviously, that part of it, but there must have been red flags. Well, something. I think something, there could have been more. I don't know what is happening over here. That might be fools leaving the living room to the, there's a thing called walk away from bad people and bad things. Well, that's the thing, Krills, he did. Supposedly, he did. And Krills, good to see you. He did walk away from that situation, and then they started putting all that crap about him on the internet and about his job. You got a ghost or a fool's? I got both. And a dog. Yeah, so that's kind of a tough situation. Yes, ma'am. You coming in to hang out? Well, hi. We're talking to the people. Oh, ma'am. Hi. She's like, my mom. Hi. Okay. You're gonna let me finish? Because I've got probably 2 more stories to tell the people. Is that okay? Can I have your toy? She's got like a little cat toy that people bully people. Like, how does one help you? Exactly, Krills. Like, Krills, you know, we've dealt with that, obviously, online. You know, and in this situation, the guy's job was affected by it. Exactly. Every action has a reaction. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. But it's like, you can't, what do? You go to the cops? And tell the cops what? Hi, I'm an adult, and people are saying crappy things about me on the internet. I mean, let's be realistic. How many officers are going to take that serious, you know? Anyway, we're going to move on to the next one. It's just a question to throw out there, something to think about. What would you do in that situation? I don't know. Not that, but who knows? Okay, so as I was stating way before I went on that little tangent, this one does have to do with children. Yeah, you have to have more evidence. Exactly, Krills, exactly. And, you know, I'm not going to go into it because it's kind of too close to home, you know, for what we experienced on the internet. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But it's just some food for thought. So anyhow, this does have to do with children. This is a child case here, or a child article. So just as a heads up. So a 36-year-old woman in Maryland may spend several decades behind bars for unaliving her 7-year-old niece and 5-year-old nephew after both of the children's decomposing bodies were found in the trunk of her car during a 2021 traffic stop where she had been storing them for months. A Baltimore County judge on Monday ordered Nicole Johnson to serve a sentence of life in a state correctional facility, with all but 50 years suspended for the slaying of Jocelyn Johnson and her little brother, Larry O'Neill. According to the Baltimore County State's Attorney's Office, the sentence was handed down after Johnson was convicted on 2 counts of child abuse, resulting in the death of a child under 13 years of age. Should she ever be released from detention, she will be required to serve 5 years of supervised probation and complete mental health treatment. The court also ordered her to have no contact with any person under the age of 18. As previously reported, officers with the Baltimore County Police Department said on July 28, 2021, they conducted a traffic stop on Johnson's vehicle on Eastern Boulevard near Wagner's Lane by the Back River. While speaking with Johnson, her behavior led police to make the grisly discovery. Police said Johnson's car was uninsured, unregistered, and equipped with a fake license plate. So they planned to tow the vehicle. As such, they told her to remove any items she may need from the car. While discussing possible court dates, Johnson gave a peculiar response to the officers. "It don't matter, I won't be here in 5 days," Johnson reportedly told the officer. "Y'all gonna see me on the news. Y'all going to see me on the news making my big debut." Police said that Johnson then removed a plastic tote bag and a clear garbage bag from the trunk of the car. She attempted to cover both bags up with a blanket, but the officers said they spotted maggots in the clear bags and the smell, the unmistakable odor of decomposition. The officers made Johnson open the suitcase, which is where they found the body of Jocelyn. Police said they then found Larry's body stuffed inside of the plastic tote. Both were said to be emancipated, with the 7-year-old weighing only 18 pounds and the 5-year-old only weighing 21. In an interview with police, Johnson reportedly said that in May 2020, more than a year before her arrest, she and the children were at a motel when she found out that Jocelyn had been stealing from her. She then admitted to hitting the child multiple times. Who the fuck does a child steal from you? Okay, sorry. She then admitted to hitting the child multiple times, resulting in Jocelyn falling to the floor and hitting her head. When Jocelyn remained unresponsive, Johnson reportedly said she put her in the suitcase and kept her in the trunk of her car for several months. Johnson claimed Larry had died in his sleep about 2 months before she was arrested. Johnson had initially started watching her niece and nephew because their biological mother was unable to care for them. However, they had been reportedly arranged to exchange the children back, but Johnson failed to show up at the meeting. The children's mother reportedly only learned about her kids' whereabouts after police informed her of their deaths. And that's how they ended that. Tobias, how are you? It's good to see you. Let me just tell you. There are a lot of people in this world that should not have children, ever. They shouldn't be able to conceive children. They shouldn't be able to have a child come out of them, cut out of them, push out of them. It's just, especially when there are men and women who want children so bad and they cannot conceive on their own. And the adoption processes are long and lengthy. And they, and then you have these idiots who the biological mother was unable to care for her kids. Unable to. So then the aunt gets them. Obviously, the aunt couldn't care for them either. And then the biological mother is waiting to get her kids back, but she doesn't even call anyone to be like, hey, my kids, I'm supposed to have them, and it's not happening. This is what I say. Kids need to be whipped at home. It's gonna start at home. Mental health stuff, being spanked. I do believe in spankings. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about being beat with a belt. I'm talking about legitimate spankings as a child growing up. I know there are people that don't agree with that. I'm sorry. I'm not one of them. My children have a lot of love and respect for me, as I do for them, and they did get a spank on occasion. So it doesn't mean I instilled fear into them. It doesn't mean that I abuse them at all. I just think, sometimes. Look at that! How exciting! School is canceled. Oh, fuck. That's bad. I'm supposed to be in class, which I already knew it was going to be really bad. Oh, Door Preacher, how are you? I knew it was going to be a big storm coming, so I just made plans to not go and just do school from home. And that was actually the college just now calling me to tell me that go home, don't come to school, which I'm glad that I made that decision, because I would have left an hour and a half ago. You got some hefty snow at the minute. I'm good, Door Breacher. How are you? Just got off duty. Finally, I'm headed back home. Well, I'm about ready to get off of here because I've been on here for 1 whole hour. Classes are canceled today due to weather. Okay, I heard you. I see you. Thank you for letting me know. Having kids is also a major issue. I agree. Bri, but the other thing is let's just say, right? Kids are having kids, which we know that they are. Having a good support system at home helps in situations like that. I will tell you, I do have 2 half-sisters. I don't talk to them. You know what, Door Breacher? Quite possibly. I'm not sure. It all depends on, I've got a lot of schoolwork I've got to get done, so I may or may not be on this evening. We'll see how the day goes. But my half-sister has a daughter who is 1 year younger than my daughter. And at the time, her daughter was 13. And my half-sister sends me a text message and she says, well, X name is pregnant. I'm sorry, what? Her 13-year-old daughter was pregnant. And I was blown away by that. And my sister is so sweet. She is a sweet woman. She is somewhat of a doormat as well, where people take advantage of her. She's very kind-hearted. She's a God-loving, Jesus-freaking type of lady, right? You guys know what kind I'm talking about. And she said her everyone also has their own opinion on this, and I'm not going to get into this part, but I said, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to let her keep it? Or are you guys going to, go other routes? And she said, oh no, it's her punishment for doing what I told her she shouldn't be doing. So she's going to keep it. Well, I just want to say that keeping a child is not a good way to punish somebody else. I'm just going to say. But in this my sister obviously has raised her grandchild. See you later. Don't mean to sadden the day or anything, but I'm going to. I love this. Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that. And I appreciate you stopping by. And I hope that all is well on your end. So thank you. How is Fools? No. Jesse, I don't know. He was sleeping earlier. I don't know if he's showering right now or if he moved from one room to the other. But he had a very long night. I'll just say that. But anyhow, yeah, keeping a child is not punishment. Now, my sister has helped raise her child, her daughter's child, obviously. And this is why I say that it does, having a good support system at home is helpful, right? Because not everyone has that. And, you know, can look to their parents for help when they've put themselves in a not so great situation for their age or their financial situation. But there are plenty of people out there who would love to have children, and the ones that are getting children, and not all of them obviously, but it's Jesus. Okay. So I'm going to let you guys go. I am past my hour. I'm getting a crap ton of notifications about this weather stuff. So I appreciate all of you. You're all amazing. Oh my God, stop. I get it. I'm going to die. All right. Stephen, bye. I do appreciate you guys for stopping in and listening to the sad stories of the day. But thank you for hanging out. Absolutely, Bright Eye. Thank you for popping in, and I might possibly do a live later this evening. We'll see how things go. Bomb the square. Thank you, guys.